Say what's cracking, YouTube? It's your boy 16 to life, and I'm back like I'm on a parole violation. Yard down. Now, for those of y'all that's new to my page, in 1994, I got arrested. I was eventually sentenced to 16 years plus life, and I served 24 years straight in the California prison system. Yeah, that's me gassing on the intro. Like I keep telling y'all, the flow is nothing like Curtis Blow, man. Now, let's hop right up into this video, man. So, of late, for those out there that may keep abreast of the so-called quote-unquote YouTube genre, the YouTube prison genre, we see lately that you have a lot of YouTubers, myself included, doing stories or videos with a racial overtone, things like that, Mexicans in the title, blacks in the title, so on and so forth, right? Now, as a YouTuber, videos like that often do well in the algorithm, right? And that's sometimes why, myself included, you will have YouTubers put those things in the title. A YouTuber's job, and I'm not talking about those who like to do the clickbait things. Once he creates a video, it's his job also to title the video in a way that it will bring in those he feels will be interested in the video, and he titles it in a way where it's going to bring in what he feels are the most people that's going to be possibly interested in that video, right? So, but as of late, like I said, man, lately, you've been having a lot of things going on, man, whether it's the Drex the joint, and the situation with him and his homies or whatever, saying the N-word or whatever, the situation of NK and what is the meaning of NK and this and that, right? And to me, it just trips me out at times, right? I believe a lot of people will watch YouTube, and when you go to the comments, sometimes the comments are filled with people who identify on one side or the other of the issue, right? And sometimes people will leave comments with their hearts instead of their minds. You may have all the blacks saying comments on one side, and you may have all the Mexicans saying comments on another different side of the spectrum, right? Now, sprinkled in between, you'll have a few Mexicans and you'll have a few blacks as well, keeping it clean in the comments, keeping it 100, right? But for the most part, you'll have people who will tend to overlook certain things that may be not consistent because it's coming for their race. It's coming from their race, right? And so what I'm going to do this week, man, I'm going to try to drop a video every day, right? And it's going to be addressing the issues among Mexicans and blacks, right? Because I was born in 1971, of course, so I grew up in the 70s, 80s, right? And you'll see you'll see a whole lot of people who grew up in that era, Mexican and black, say that they grew up amongst each other. They had Mexican friends. You'll hear blacks say they had Mexican friends. You'll hear blacks say that they had Mexican friends, and vice versa. You'll hear Mexicans say that they had black friends, right? And then so as far as gangbanging is concerned, for those who may not be from the California culture or not familiar with the California culture, for the most part, there was no beef between Mexican and black gangs until the early 80s. Then for a while, things got extremely racial, and so as far as that NK is concerned, right? Now it could be a diss to Mexicans from the North, but it also could be used as something different in the South, right? And it's only two ways you can answer that question if you're from the South, right? It's only two people, Either you don't know or you lying, Either you don't know what you're talking about or you lying. But that's just a point that I'm bringing up because it seemed like a lot of people in the know still tried to hem and haw around the meaning of that phrase, right? And it's not just Mexican gangs who are saying racial things toward the black race. You have black gangs saying things toward the toward the Mexican race as well. So it's definitely a two-sided coin. It's not just the Mexicans being racial toward the blacks in certain situations, right? And then, of course, not all Mexican gangs feel like that toward blacks, and not all black gangs feel like that toward Mexicans. Sometimes it's nothing but gang banging. In the course of being in a gang and in the course of gang banging, man, that is basically the mindset and the ideology of any gang, is to say, hey, man, I'm bigger than you. I'm badder than you. I'm tougher than you. Either get out my way or we'll put you out the way. Right. Like I said, historically, back in the days, you had Mexican gangs beefing with Mexican gangs and black gangs beefing with black gangs. You'll be very hard pressed to find a big black gang in any city that doesn't beef with another black gang. And the same thing goes for Mexican gangs. You'll be hard pressed to find a big Mexican gang that doesn't have another Mexican gang as its very serious, deadly enemy, right? But then when things became racial, and then you started having the beefing of Mexican gangs versus black gangs, at some point in time, it just didn't stay with the gang beef. It became racial. And what I mean by that is, in California, it's part of the culture for gangs to diss other gangs. Now, if you beefing with another gang that happens to be from another race, just diss that gang. If you're beefing with that gang, hey, man, I get it. I understand it. Just diss the gang. Don't diss the whole entire race, because of course then you're gonna have people from the opposing gang doing the same. And then what's the cold problem about that? Then you have people who have the mindset of, okay, now I'm not just going to look to get a person from this gang. I'm going to look to get a person from that race. And then now you have the innocent civilians being shot, being harmed, being killed, being terrorized. And to keep it 100, right, they didn't sign up for that. They didn't sign up for that stuff. When I grew up and once I started gang banging, man, the ideology that was passed on to me is you only pray and apply certain type of protocols, certain type of procedures and etiquettes. You only apply that to others who are in this lifestyle. You don't pray on those who are not inside this, on those who are outside of this lifestyle. Unfortunately, everybody does not fall under that belief. And so that's how you have situations like that happen, where now you have gangs preying on people who fall under a particular race, right? And to me, that's really, that's some buster shit, to keep it 100, right? If a person did not voluntarily sign up for this type of lifestyle, don't include that person in what you got going on, because you have a warped belief system. But once again, like I said, man, everybody doesn't feel that way, right? So I was out doing some things today, man, and then I'm scrolling through, I was out having dinner actually, but I'm scrolling through my phone, and I see where you have Damian Porter with a video saying, are blacks afraid of Mexicans? Then I also see where Dubs made a reply to that, right? And so I go to the comments, and like I said, depending on what particular race a person either was from or identified with it, a lot of times dictated on his comments, right, without necessarily paying full attention to what's really being said in the video, man. So that's what I'm going to do this week, man. I'm going to try to address, the racial shenanigans, the racial issues that's going on between Mexicans and blacks, quote unquote, as they say, man, in these YouTube streets. So every day I'm going to address these issues, because like I said, man, it's not just the Mexicans, right? But as of late, you have had issues where, dudes who are Mexican or they identify as Mexican or they're from Mexican gangs, just so happens as of late, they have been saying certain things. And so, of course, you have blacks who have been feeling a certain way about it, right? But so lately, some of the videos that people have been making seem like they are basically focusing on the Mexicans, but just at this particular time, that's just what's going on. It's not just a one-sided issue. You have blacks doing racial things as well. And so that's my focus this week, man, to drop a video on and addressing these different issues and stuff. And then I'm going to top that off, man, with an extremely, extremely good interview that I'm going to do with an individual, man. And I'll just say this individual has a lot of knowledge about the gangs in Los Angeles. He has a lot of knowledge about crime in Los Angeles, so on and so forth, man. So definitely stay focused with me this week. Tune in. I'm gonna try to drop that for y'all Friday, man. Tune in to the rest of these videos I got going. You already know what it is. It's your boy 16 to life. Oh, listen. Before I say resume on the program, man, also, man, tomorrow I'm supposed to be going to hit the studio. You guys already know I've been selling that CD like hotcakes, man, but now I'm going to have it also available on USB flash drive, and I'm going to also try to have a digital link so those can reach out to me, send me my bread. I'm gonna shoot you the link in the email, and you can bump it like that, man. Cause you know what I'm saying. I don't know about the rest of these whack MCs, right? But man, my music too good to give away for 9/10 of a penny. So either you dig it or you don't dig it, man. You can mess with these rappers who rapping off beat, talking about this silly stuff, or you can come mess with chill. You know what I'm saying? Where it's still real. Hey, but anyway, y'all already know what it is. It's your boy 16 to life. Resume normal program.